Ramen is one of Japan's most popular dishes. But did you know that instant ramen was invented in 1958 by Momofuku Ando? Inspired by the process of making tempura, he created a dried noodle with an even longer shelf life than frozen noodles. This invention is sometimes considered to be Japan's greatest cultural export, and it's hard to imagine a world without instant ramen. At first, however, instant noodles were considered to be something of a fad. Many companies hurried to cash in on this product, not knowing when tastes might change, including Sanyo Foods. We started manufacturing instant ramen in 1961, just a few years after its invention. Welcome to this episode of Ramen Regions. Chicken was a popular flavor for instant noodles, but in 1964, we introduced Nagasaki Tanmen. It was the first Shio-flavored local ramen to be available to consumers. This was followed by the introduction of our original flavor in 1966. And miso flavor in 1968. In 1971, the same year we introduced our regular Shio flavor, the world was also introduced to instant noodles that only needed hot water to be prepared. This new invention is what helped properly cement instant noodles as an important cornerstone of Japan's ramen culture. Nissin's cup noodles were initially priced at 100 yen, making them much more expensive than other instant noodle options at the time. This made them unpopular with consumers, which led to Nissin distributing them to the police and self-defense forces. Then, in 1972, the Asama-Sanso hostage incident was televised, and the coverage featured many shots of the police involved eating cup noodles in the cold. This event is thought to have popularized the use of instant ramen as a disaster relief food in Japan. Much like Japan turned to ramen during post-war food shortages in the 1940s, Japan now turned to instant ramen to carry them through disasters. Around the 1970s, ramen was introduced to America through both the import of instant ramen from Japan and some Japanese companies creating American divisions. We created Sanyo Foods America in 1978 to help bring instant ramen to the States. Thanks to the Cool Japan movement in the 1980s, instant ramen and other exports from Japan were pushed to try and change Japan's image in other countries. This led to instant ramen being nearly ubiquitous in America, where there were fewer ramen shops, meaning that the word ramen almost became synonymous with the instant kind in America throughout the 1990s. America wasn't the only place that instant ramen spread to, though. After World War II, Jung Yun-jeon learned the Japanese way of making packaged, shelf-stable ramen and brought instant ramen to Korea. In doing so, he hoped to solve Korea's post-war poverty issues. It worked too. Instant ramen quickly became one of Korea's favorite foods, although it's known as ramyun there. And now Koreans consume the most instant ramen per person in the world. Instant ramen is also popular in China and other parts of Asia. And in 1999, Sanyo Foods bought a stake in China's largest instant ramen brand. Even though it's been 64 years since the invention of instant ramen, people are still enjoying the convenience of Momofuku Ando's invention. From spicy Korean instant ramyun to the stir-fried noodles of Indonesia, instant ramen is much more than the fad it was initially thought to be. We hope people will continue to enjoy it for 64 more years. Itadakimasu!